Hello, this is Cherry once more, and welcome to the next instalment of my first game videos. The ship in question is the HMS Cossack, the new premium tribal class British destroyer that is nothing at all like any of the other destroyers in the line. Typical wargaming. Cossack has 8 guns rather than 6 that the Gauge Armada gets. It has hydro, it has speed boost, it has smoke, it has everything it needs to be an awesome ship. 8 rapid firing 4.5 inch guns or 4.7 inch guns. Decent turner speed, made extra good with the speed boost. So this is my first game out in the Cossack. Just unlocked it through the Guinea system, playing all the Royal Navy missions. So it's a very cheap ship. Not sure if anybody knows this, but whilst this is pertinent, there is was an option within the premium shop to buy 10 guineas for 76 pence. I think it was supposed to be €1. If you took advantage of that, it did cut down your grind time on the missions quite massively. So basically, a Cossack for 76 pence is what I call a bloody bargain. So Cossack is, as I said, it's a tribal class. It's the only proper tribal class in the game. The Lightning is not a tribal class. The Lightning is an L class. The tribals were, so the expert Mr. Slive tells me, the tribals were originally designed to be small escort cruisers, or the original plan was for them to be small escort cruisers, hence why it is quite big. They were the first of the Royal Navy destroyers that were actually designed basically around their guns rather than their torpedoes. So this is reflected in the Cossack, because you do get the 4 twin turrets, but you do only get a single 4 torpedo launcher, so you've only got a quad. They are single fire. This reload on it is, I think, about 100 seconds, 90 seconds, something like that. So it's not a torpedo boat, but the guns are brutal. Now, captain build on this ship, I will go through at the end. The one thing I will say about British destroyers, my experience so far with British destroyers, is there's 2 skills that are a must-have. That is IFHE and concealment. Anything other than that is just the usual destroyer play, but those 2 are truly important. To be honest, if I was grinding a new British destroyer captain, I would probably take IFHE first over concealment. Because the IFHE just makes such a difference. The damage output with these guns with IFHE is just brutal. It doesn't seem to matter what you're shooting at, you do damage. Destroyers, cruisers, you can take cruisers apart with these guns. So the smoke is the usual Royal Navy smoke, which is the... What is that shooting? Good grief, there's some firepower coming in. The smoke is the usual British smoke, so it's lots of them, very short-lived, relatively short puff time, very short duration time. It's only about 40 seconds duration time. It's basically designed to do exactly what I've just done, which is disengage, pop your smoke, run like a bitch. Matchmaking on this one is predominantly it's a mix in tier 8, 9 and 10, a bottom tier with a DD. First game out, could be worse. The map is Lands of Fire, which I don't actually mind this map. It's not the best of maps, but it's not the worst of maps. So anyway, we are currently 3.5 minutes into the game. Currently we have 6,130 damage. Now, I also, to give you a little bit of a clue, Royal Navy ships, I've already said IFHE is a must. Demolition Expert I don't bother with. However, I do always run, because I have lots of them, both of the flags that give you an additional 0.5% on your fire chance. And believe it or not, it does actually make a difference, especially with the rate of fire and the number of shells. So we're playing this, at the moment we're playing this just like you would an Atlanta. So using the shell arcs on the guns to get over the island without actually being spotted, not wasting any smoke. We're just burning the life out of that Missouri at the moment because reasons. Currently sitting at 20,400 damage, 2 fires. That for those fires have now been put out on that Missouri. Missouri's on. Oh no, the fires are still burning. No, Missouri's dead. So we're basically taken just under 1,200 damage, and we've dealt 26,427 on guns alone. 1 defended ribbon, 50 gun hits so far, 2 fires. One thing I will say about the Cossack is it really needs help with its turret rotation. I do not have expert marksman on this. Likewise, I do not have one of the specialist captains that's got an improvement on the expert marksman. But to be honest, the turret rotation on the Cossack is dismal. You are not a knife fighter. Really, it's not. The turrets just don't rotate. So we picked ourselves up a Shimakaze. We're now on 29,000 damage and a kill. And we're going to reuse this island edge here and start playing around with the Bismarck. This is actually going to be this is the first gameplay. It's actually going to be the first of 2 back-to-back videos that I'll do with the Cossack. This is just my first game outing. So this is the usual into my little meta I have there, which is just showing the gameplay from the first game you play on every ship. But then the video that will follow is a different play style for the ship, which I think is very different. So torpedoes on this are, as far as I'm aware, 10 kilometers, I think. It won't let me do anything. Yeah, so the torpedoes are 10 kilometers. There's 4 of them. We're now in smoke, so we're now just going to work on the Bismarck. IFHE, as you can see, decent damage of the IFHE. Bismarck is now going stationary. He's going to eat a torpedo or 2, possibly 2. 2. There you go. Nice. So that's caused a flood. He is burning and he is flooding. So we have him on fire and we have him flooding, which is always hilarious. But as you can see, the IFHE does put in some nice damage. And that rate of fire with the 8 guns, it is very, very good. So we're currently on 1 kill, 2 floods, 5 fires, and 91,000 damage. So I won't keep counting that back, but we are 2 caps to 1. We are just about up on ships, just about up on caps, and I'm just going to go and head for the C cap, where I'm hoping to bump into a Benson, because if there's one thing that can be said about the Cossack, is I think it's the ship that has finally put the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin of the Benson. The Benson already struggled because of the Low Yang. Now, when you factor in the Cossack with its firepower, the Low Yang's got its hydro, the Cossack has just got so much more firepower and so much more usable guns than the Benson. So I think the Benson is in need of some more gaming love. It's a shame because the Benson was always a nice ship and it was always one of the strongest at tier 8. But to be honest with you, power creep has kind of killed the Benson. Anyway, enough about the Benson. This is the Cossack. We are basically just going to try and corral them into the corner. The only thing that bugs me about this game, and this has been bugging me for a few days now, I don't know if it's new players or returning players, but you are getting a lot of situations in a lot of games where your destroyers go out and spot stuff, they go and cap stuff, they do whatever they're supposed to do, but your team will park themselves at the cap that you've already got. which is just ridiculous. I mean, they're not supporting anything, those battleships. They're doing nothing. Let me just get this Chung Mu down. That's Chung Mu gone, so that's another tier 10 destroyer. So Shimakaze and Chung Mu we picked up. Was it Chung Mu? Yeah, it was Chung Mu. It's tier 9, sorry. So we're back in our smoke. And blind. There's the Alsace. Burny burny time. Burny burny time. Let's get those guns out. As you can see, you're putting in consistent salvos. 16s, 18s, 19s, a couple of thousand. So, it is a very nice little ship. So we're back to an island again. This is back using the island as a shield, so I don't need to worry about smoke. Can fire blind from here with the Cossack. The gun arcs are good enough to get over, and this is a theme that I will continue to return to because it is the way to play the Cossack. So this is the Alsace we're just going to have a little play with, get some damage in on him. Just checking they weren't enemy torps. So the Alsace is going to try and reverse out of that, and he's going to have a rain of British HE coming down on top of him. But I'm spotted. So what's spotting me? So we've got 8.5 minutes to go. We are 8:28 to 2:99. We are still just about up on ships. We've got all 3 caps. Current output is 105,000 damage, 2 kills, 1 cap, 1 defend. Yeah. So all in all, the Cossack does seem to have all of the tools that it needs. Yes, it would be nice to have more torpedoes. Yes, it would be nice to have... Actually, no, there isn't really any nice... There's no really nice to haves on this. It's just a great little ship. You can't complain about this, and there's nothing really to complain about. So drop those torps out. If you notice what I do when I'm in a destroyer, I've tried to explain this to some of the newer members. Do not instantly switch back to guns. If you instantly switch back to guns... and if someone's running the priority or whatever it is, the priority target, then they will have a dip, a rise and a dip in the people aiming at them, which basically would let them know that they've had torpedoes possibly aimed at them. So what I do with it is I hold the torpedo reticle on until they're a lot closer. And also, by firing at a ship when torpedoes have just left, they're going to see where you are and they're going to turn away from you. So that's a Conqueror on fire, eating a torpedo. I've now driven out of my smoke, which is really rather clever. And we got the Conqueror. Thanks for watching.